Peter sits down with the voice of Zeb, Steve Blum. We go behind the scenes of a Rogue One toy photo shoot, and much, much more. Now, from the Lucasfilm headquarters, it's the Star Wars Show.
Hello, I'm Peter Townley.
And I'm Andy Gutierrez. Welcome to the Star Wars Show, a show whose secondary purpose is to remind Peter and me that today is Wednesday.
Because we're disaster human beings that don't own calendars and barely understand how time works anymore.
Let's go to the news.
If you've been watching our show for the past few weeks, or the Go Rogue animated series on our channel, you've seen a ton of new Rogue One toys and products. Well, the wait is almost over.
Beginning Friday, you can get your hands on the first wave of brand new Rogue One toys and products like the Toys R Us exclusive Black Series Imperial Hover Tank pilot figure, the Target exclusive Captain Cassian Andor Deluxe Blaster, or the Walmart exclusive Saw Gerrera pop vinyl.
You can find more information about Rogue One toys launch events, plus details on how you can enter your own fan film into the hashtag GoRogue contest, including complete details and rules at StarWars.com.
Speaking of Rogue One, Star Wars Commander is dropping the first wave of new Rogue One content into the game this week.
The new update includes Shore Troopers, Rebel Commandos, Gagoran Fighters, AT-ACTs, as well as a new feature called Armory, which allows players to customize the appearance of their troops into planet-specific outfits like Imperial Snow Troopers, Han Solo's winter jacket, and cold weather Rebel soldier garb.
Han Solo.
Rey says Han Solo.
Okay, you can download it all for yourself when the update launches tomorrow.
Finally, during an investor call last week, Disney CEO Bob Iger dropped a couple of interesting Star Wars nuggets of information.
The first was that the studio had recently heard a pitch from the director of Episode 9 due in 2019, and that a writer is currently developing another Star Wars story for 2020.
So thumbs up for more Star Wars, and a high five for Star Wars Show job security.
And for more breaking news from around the galaxy, make sure to check out StarWars.com.
Hey guys, Ashley Eckstein here, and I am so excited to show you the first ever Ahsoka Tano Funko Pop. Here, let's open her up. This is very exciting. Oh, okay, I don't want to decapitate her. Oh, okay. Ah! I'm like not graceful with this at all. Okay, let's see here. Put her on her stand, I guess. There. Isn't she beautiful? This can be yours on October 5th. You will get, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not really funny.
I'm sitting down right now with Steve Blum, the voice of Zeb on Star Wars Rebels. Steve, thanks so much for coming by, man.
Thank you for having me, Carabast.
I love it. So you've had this very long career. You're probably one of the most well-established voice actors there is. What has Star Wars added to that? What's different about working on Star Wars than anything else?
It's satisfied my inner fanboy, probably more than anything else. I mean, I've had a lot of really, really great characters that I never expected to play, and each one of them has surprised and encouraged me to keep going forward, but there really isn't much bigger than Star Wars.
The cool thing about being an actor is that all of your life experiences count.
Absolutely.
All of that stuff gets used eventually.
Every horrible job I've ever had has come into play at some point in my voiceover career.
Are any of those behind Zeb?
Yeah, I had to do some pretty terrible jobs, and Zeb was definitely influenced by some of them, especially his attitude, because he's so cranky all the time. And a lot of the jobs that I had to do just to survive at that time, I was cranky more often than not.
Which is kind of what the crew is doing. There's a lot of episodes where it's like we're out of gas or we have no food. Or,
survival. That was literally my life for most of my life. So I can very much relate to everything that's going on in this show. In this, the characters are constantly developing and evolving and learning what they're capable of. And that's kind of an amazing thing. I mean, just the fact that Zeb was able to connect with the Ashla. And I didn't know that we were going to get to go that deep with that character. I usually don't.
It would be very easy with Zeb not to go deep because he can seem like such a caricature at first.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he was billed as the muscle at first. I mean, that was the very first thing that came out. I'm the muscle. I will bash your buckets, and I will push stuff out of the way, and I will eat your food, and that's about it. But to know that he actually has this whole history and this past and stuff that he has to deal with on a personal level and having to work through that stuff, it's personal growth. And who would think you get to do that in a cartoon? It's amazing.
So before we let you go, Steve, we're going to have some of the characters that you have played audition for Star Wars. So I've got some lines for you, and we're just going to real quick match those lines up with some different characters.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I'm up for it.
Let's have you read this first one as Wolverine.
Size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you? And well, you should not. For my ally is the Force, bub. And a powerful ally it is.
Could you give me this line as Starscream?
Starscream, all right. This is our most desperate hour. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder. Oh, Megatron, hello. I'm sorry.
This third one, I would like you to read as a grunt from Mass Effect.
I don't like sand, Shepard. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Excellent. Read this next one as Spike Spiegel.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
Could you do this one as a Yaki Doodle?
Oh my God.
But I was going to Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
It's the version of Luke Skywalker I never knew I needed.
Oh my God. Send that to Mark.
Steve Blum, everybody.
Send that to Mark Hamill.
Steve Blum.
Thank you. That was so much fun. Oh my God.
The following segment of the Star Wars show is an ad from our friends at Target. Yippee!
David Collins here, giving you a behind-the-scenes look at a Target photo shoot of all the new Rogue One toys coming out on September 30th. Now, Target's gone ahead and put together a few rebellious scenarios of toys from Funko, Hasbro, and Lego. Look at this. I just want to play with this thing. If we can take a few minutes. Is that cool? Okay. Guys, there's so many new Rebel vehicles in the Watto body shop. Meep, meep. Excuse me. Oh, it's glued shut. Oh, it's an AT-ACT. Well, what's the difference between that and an AT-AT? The C.
In order to prevent a rebel attack, we teach you which direction the levers need to go.
Wow, what are you doing?
I'm kicking the space tires.
Pretty sure they're shooting the planet Scarif. Look at that. Nice and beachy. Walking around here, there's multiple sets that are all being staged, lit, and shot, and the toys look absolutely gorgeous. Can you guys add lightning in post? No? Yeah? Once the sets have been lit and shot, they come over here to Thomas and Adam, who are retouching the photos. What is going on in that room?
We decided that's where they make soup.
Oh, that's the soup room. Not canon. Not canon. Look at the detail. I am so in the way. I don't know if we were supposed to be in there just now, but that was awesome. What a fascinating behind-the-scenes look. I can't wait to get my hands on some of these toys myself. September 30th at Target. Back to you guys. I'm gonna take this. Excuse me.
We're back on, reading your Rebels haikus from the internet.
Hey, Walker Pilot, just relax. I'll take over. One more step forward.
The Jedi and Sith, I'm the one in the middle. I am the Bendu.
Yellow TIE fighters chase the Phantom like Pac-Man. Waka, waka, pew.
Hanging out with Zeb, you pick up Karabast slang, just like Sabine Wren.
Those were some haikus from the internet for us. Thank you for writing. It's nice to have a little poetry here on the Star Wars show.
Totally.
Really classes up the joint a little. Maybe some Shakespeare next time.
We're not that classy. Instead, because they're launching this Friday, we want to see pictures and videos of your Rogue One haul. It can be of the line to get into the store, your shopping cart full of toys, or everything laid out perfectly with your current collection.
Send it to us using the hashtag RogueFun, and we'll feature our favorites here next week.
Also be sure to watch the Star Wars After Show presented by Verizon, where I, along with my panel of Lucasfilm employees and Star Wars superfans, break down all of the happenings in this week's episode of the Star Wars show.
Watch it this Thursday and every Thursday on youtube.com/Verizon.
Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.
You're never gonna let me read that sonnet I wrote for Daisy, are you?
You wrote a sonnet for Daisy?
Shall I compare thee to the distant stars? Thou art brighter and not so far away. The eyes of Tatooine dim next to yours. At Jakku's dawn, you are its brightest ray.